So week 1, home opener, Bills Cardinals, 1 p.m. at good old Highmark Stadium. Lance, who you got in this game?
Bills.
All right. That's it. Easy peasy.
Yeah, there's it's an interesting matchup though. The Cardinals defense is going to be down, so the Bills are going to be able to score at will, I believe. We'll see what their offense kind of looks like when they take you know, all the minutia away, all the vanilla stuff away that they, we haven't seen anything yet. So we'll actually see what this thing looks like a little bit at least, and they should be able to move the ball at will. And then the Cardinals are explosive as well, so we'll see how that matchup turns out. But I think regardless, in a gunfight there, I think the Bills have more ammunition with Josh Allen to win than taking the Cardinals with Kyler Murray. So
Anthony, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. This is a win for me. I think this is a good start to the season for the Buffalo Bills as they're built right now because we have a lot of new pieces on offense. We're playing a kind of soft defense here, I think, at least in terms of who we have on the schedule. Certainly one of the softer defenses. And their offense can be electric, and we've seen that happen with Kyler Murray in Buffalo. But I just think overall our offense is going to be stronger than their defense, and our defense even on a bad day where it gives up 20 something points, the offense is going to make up for it. So this is a comfortable win for me.
Yeah, I tend to agree with both you guys. I think, yes, we don't know what the Bills offense is going to look like. There is some turnover on both offense and defense, but I still feel like Arizona is in still somewhat, I don't want to say a holding pattern, but I still feel like they do need a few pieces to be competitive in the NFC. So I do think the Bills come away with a win in week 1. All right. Thursday night football. The Bills get 4 days after the home opener to travel to Miami. It's thankfully a Thursday night game. It's not being played 1 o'clock when it's 95 degrees outside. It's going to be at nighttime. So, Lance, what do you think about the Bills' first AFC division opponent game, week 2 against the Dolphins?
I have this one as a loss for the Bills. Unfortunately, I think short week early on in the season. I just think that this one could be one where the Bills drop it. Now, I understand that the Bills have had their way with Miami as of late, but I just think that, like I say, on the short week, early season, this is where they do stumble early and have this is a tough stretch to start the season, especially 2 through 6 here as we go through it. And I just think this one, like I say, on the short week and things, it's going to be a little bit tougher, and I have them dropping this one.
Anthony, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a win. I see your Josh Allen is dominant against the Miami Dolphins, and I'll raise you a Mike White, who the Bills picked up on the practice squad, who was just in Miami playing with them. So I think that could be part of the X factor that gives the Bills just the edge they need against a tough divisional opponent on the road. Plus, it's at night, right? I was at the game a couple of years ago when it was 120 degrees on the field, and I was in the front row right behind the Bills bench. It was awesome, but it was, and I'm suited up in my Bills suit at the time. But it was quite the, I couldn't believe the players were out there playing on the field, and even the cheerleaders I felt bad for on the field that day. But this game being at night is going to make all the difference. I think there's no sun beating down on you for the entire game on your sideline and not theirs. So it takes that advantage away, which I think ultimately the playing field was leveled with the sun. So take that factor away. Now the Bills get the edge again. Plus our history against Miami up till this point, Tua and that team looks a lot the same. Their defense actually to me looks a lot weaker. And I think, again, that's where the Bills are going to take advantage is on offense. Our control the ball offense, which is different than what they've seen too from us, rather than, going for big plays or whatever. I feel like the Bills are going to run the ball more, control the ball more, short passes, time of possession. That beats a Miami team who is more of a gung-ho, make a huge play type of team in my mind, at least. So those reasons gives me the edge to say we beat Miami in Miami this year in week 2. And I'll also be at this game, by the way, with my uncle who lives down in Fort Lauderdale. So excited to make it back for that game.
Nice. Yeah, I too have the Bills winning this game. I mean, there's a lot to be said. And Lance brings up some really valid points that Dolphins play different in the beginning of the season. Once the weather breaks and they start hitting teams down the stretch where it's not the elements aren't in their favor. They're not playing, games where it's 75 degrees and above. But I do think Thursday night football and Josh Allen in prime time in a somewhat controlled environment where it's probably going to still be 80 degrees. I just like the fact that there's not going to be a ton of tape other than week one of what Joe Brady's done. And like Anthony said, I do feel like this is a game where they try to keep the Dolphins' high-powered offense off the field by running the ball with James Cook and Ray Davis. And then if they need to, they can score some points. And I like the Bills in this situation. Yes, it is a short week for the Bills, but I like the fact that they're not traveling across the country. It is down to Miami. The Bills have had luck in Miami. And I like the Bills to win this one.